Hi, my name is Nick Caruso, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can OCR 1,000 documents in less than 10 seconds. Obviously, this is a bit of a fun exercise, but it's total reality. You can do this with AutoStore. So how can you do this? Well, let's say you have 1,000 documents. Each document's 1 page or 10 pages. Doesn't really matter. The way AutoStore works is that all those documents can go to a central AutoStore server. That server can be behind a load balancer. There are ways to handle 1,000 connections or more at one time. We certainly have customers doing that. Now, the key is you don't want to be OCRing all 1,000 documents on the same server at the same time, unless you had 1,000 CPUs running on that server. What you will want to do is you want to offload the OCR to other AutoStore servers running on other virtual machines or physical machines with multiple CPU engines. And it's really easy to do this. So I'm going to go into a technical presentation now on how to get that done. So a typical AutoStore configuration is going to look something like this. You've got your capture component. In this case, I'm using AutoCapture as my example. Your OCR engine, your send to folder. This configuration running on a server, no matter how many CPUs it has, will only process one document at a time. So how can I process 1,000 documents at once to OCR those documents in less than 10 seconds? And the answer to that is using knowledge package files to break up the workflow to separate servers. And the way that you do that is you instead use your capture component to create an AutoStore XML file that will send that XML file to a temporary folder or a network share that other AutoStore servers or other AutoStore tasks running on those servers will pick up and process. So you can run multiple AutoStore tasks to take advantage of multi-threading on those servers. Let's run this configuration so you can see what's going on. I have a network share here in which I'm going to be sending scanned documents. It's going to convert those documents to the AutoStore XML folder and temporarily place those documents in this folder. Then multiple other tasks running either on this same box with additional CPU engines or on separate virtual machines will pick it up. I'm going to go ahead and open up AutoCapture, and I'm going to go ahead and submit this document that I already have teed up. I have an example PO number, and as I hit submit here, you'll see that it starts sending multiple XML files to be processed. So I've done this multiple times. You can see these are coming in as if they'd all been scanned at one time. Now, the key is that I can have other additional tasks, hundreds if not thousands of additional virtual machines or processes running on those virtual machines to pick up these jobs and process them all at the same time. So let me show you how specifically I configured this so I could offload that task. In my capture component, I'm going to be using a process component to create the AutoStore XML file and then send it to a temporary folder. So let's go ahead and open that up. I have just this workflow called convert to PDF. I have some fields here such as a PO number. That's pretty self-explanatory. But let me go into configuring this XML file. Lots of checkboxes, probably too many checkboxes. Honestly, I don't even know what they all do. I just click on activate. I believe embed by documents is automatically checked. I say include fields, and I check a bunch of these other ones. And then field, any RRT that you want mapped to your follow-on workflows to take advantage of. You would add that RRT, you type in a name and map that RRT into your knowledge package file. Now, I go into a lot of technical training. I have a 40-minute technical training that I've already done on knowledge package files, and I encourage you to see that. And then I use multi-router to send that XML file to my temporary folder. So that's how I build a configuration to output those XML files. Now, how do I read those XML files in order to process them? Well, I have another configuration that can do that. You can see here we're using a knowledge package loader, which is a capture component, and it will read an AutoStore XML file, and then you can build your process and your route components exactly like you would in a normal workflow. So I have to point it to the directory that I was outputting those XML files. I then configure my process and my routing components accordingly. So I can run this task on multiple additional virtual machines or servers or the same server. So let me go back to my original configuration. Let me close out these additional tasks here. So how can I take this existing configuration and add multiple OCR engines to process those documents on one server. What I could do here is I can add that same task I had before multiple times. You can see here, this is a technique to add additional templates to your existing AutoStore config. And I'll add a link to another video that shows you how to do this, but it's a great trick. So if I had 4 CPUs or 5 CPUs, one for maybe this task, and 4 others, I could process 4 documents at the same time. In this case, I could process 5 documents at the same time. I could process 6 documents at the same time, and you get the story from here. And I can run this configuration. Maybe I could do 10 at the same time and run that 10 on 10 VMs, so I could process 100 documents at the same time. It's a very powerful and flexible configuration. So let me start that configuration. And as soon as I start it, it's automatically going to pick up those jobs that were in that queue and start processing them right away. So I've got 6 OCR engines running at the same time, processing 6 documents at the exact same time. And again, I could span this across multiple CPUs on one server or multiple servers in addition to that. There are some licensing restrictions about that, and you should talk to your NSi sales rep about that. But let's go ahead and see. I'm going to open up Status Monitor so I can see what actually is going on. So you can see here it was processing one job. You can see here I have my 6 OCR engines, and they were all processing different jobs simultaneously. And if I go to my output folder, you can see here that I have all those jobs that I had teed up all being OCR'd and processed and outputted pretty much at the exact same time. So in summary, this is a great way to process multiple documents at the same time, and you absolutely can process 1,000 documents within 10 seconds. Hope this tips and tricks is helpful, and thank you for your time.